Nigeria might have taken an Pan-African action against Niger by mobilizing the whole ECOWAS to put a sanction against Niger during, when the revolution happened in Niger, and also to militarily intervene. But guess what? The Nigerians, meaning Niger, has managed to put a foreign capital investment in Nigeria about $15.2 million. This is only in the last quarter of 2023. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent, and particularly from the Sahel region, from Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, following this revolutionary action as it takes place, and bringing you on daily basis. So now let's get into it. What happened? How did this happen? And what should be now Nigeria's action next to this? And then this distorted definition of the foreign capital thing by the West. So I'm gonna shed a light on those things. Just tune in with me, okay? Yeah, so let me just go ahead and share this with you. As I said, first of all, I will try, Nigeria, okay? Nigeria has recorded a notable influx of foreign capital from Niger. That is the news, which amounts about $15.27 million in the third quarter of 2023, despite the political upheaval caused by the coup in Niger, or they call it a revolution in Niger, as the Nigerians call it, So now, the first thing that I'm going to answer for you is that why is it not worthy, this foreign capital, meaning the 15.2 million, the investment of Nigerians in Nigeria, okay? Now, what we need to ask is, of course, why is it not worthy? Because why it is not worthy? Because the influence of this foreign capital from Niger to Nigeria is really significant, considering the strained relationship of the two countries, Nigeria and Niger. Not only Nigeria and Niger, also the strained multilateral relation of Niger with some of the ECOWAS member states. So when each country in ECOWAS member when they're benefiting from Niger, or when they're opening their doors for us, we appreciate it and we bring it here to you, so that others could could follow the step. Okay, now the Tinubu-led ECOWAS sanctioned Niger, as you know, inland, also in sea and airspace, in which some of them got opened later because they cannot afford to continue like that. So if the relationship is strained, then now the question is, how is it possible? How this amount of foreign capital was possible for Niger to invest in Nigeria? Okay, now first of all, because what you have to know is, as you see here, Niger and Nigeria shares a longer border. It's about 1,600 kilometers. Okay, so there is a sharing of border between the two countries. The other thing is that there are people. It's one people. They share borders. That means it's very, very possible there are same people from the same tribe who live in both countries around the same border. So the northern part of Nigeria is very, very close to the southern part of Niger. In fact, if you remember, during when the Tinubu-led Nigeria threatened Niger to militarily intervene, it was this elders. Nigeria has different governance, different states. So the governance in the northern part of Nigeria they went to Tinubu to talk to him that this is a wrong action. Nigeria should not invade or should not militarily intervene in Niger. We are one people. We have relatives, brothers and sisters here and there. We have, we're family, and we have trade transaction. There's a daily activity going on between the two countries, so this should not happen. So although Nigeria did not came out, or Tinubu did not say it publicly, but he has listened to this. Otherwise, he would have continued to be arrogant, like the West, how the West was driving the agenda, and he might have ended, intervening in Niger. But of course, he will know, that what kind of reaction will wait for him from, forget the rest of Africa, but from his own people in Nigeria. Now, another thing, what you have to consider is that how is this possible? There is also a strong, if they are one people, if they're sharing of, if they are the same tribes, then there is a strong cultural, cross-cultural association, and there's a continued also international trade transaction regardless of the sanction or despite the sanction. And you know what? Because, let me just say one thing, because this, the other reason is because this is Africa. You can't stop the movement of people. It has been there in ancient time. People have been moving from Kemet lands. There is a people in Timbuktu, in different parts of the continent. From the Abyssinian people were moving. It's not something that is created now that you call it migrating or whatever. People have been moving, and this is Africa. You can't stop the people. 80% of the migration of African people, do you know that it happens within the continent, not outside of the continent? Just like, what you hear in the Western propaganda, that the whole Africa, Africans are always looking for outside. No, more than 80% of the migration happens within the continent. This is a research-based fact, I'm telling you. So yeah, that's the one thing. This is Africa, and you can't stop the movement of the people. Now, the second thing I want to shed light on is that now what should Nigeria do? Now knowing that only in the third quarter of 2023, they have got this amount of foreign capital from Niger, which is $15.2 million. And what should be now the next action of Nigeria? I think first and foremost, Bola Tinubu has to come out and publicly apologize for his arrogant action in July when Niger, when the change of the government happened. If people wanted it, he should have supported it. He should, to the minimum, he should not have that mobilized that ECOWAS member and said, threatening Niger to militarily intervene. Now he should come out. The first action should be apologize. Okay. Second thing, he should stop being an errand boy for the West. Stop being an errand boy, to France, as we have seen his acquaintance, his relationship with Emmanuel Macron, and he does his medical treatment in France. By the way, we all know that just before the U.S.-Africa summit, the UN General Assembly, he has spent in France 2 weeks, and they helped him to come to power. The whole Bola Tinubu being a president of Nigeria is by itself, it's a joke. But in any case, he should come out and apologize. The other thing is, there is a lot to lose by putting sanction or by closing borders for both people. So if they open the border, it's a mutual benefit. There is an economic boom in both countries. Whatever you have stopped, you are hurting your own people. In fact, the action is it is self-inflicting. Look at this, by closing the border, the business have been stopped. Look at all this, that has been stranded. These are drivers whose life depended on this work from both sides, from Nigeria and from Niger. And also it's not only the drivers, there are family under them that they feed, that they bring food on the table for them. So you have interrupted a lot of things. So it's, just to say the least, it's really self-inflicting. This action is self-inflicting. It contradicts, a lot of things. If you really stand for Pan-Africanism, then you can't punish your people like that. You're just, punishing your own people. Economy-wise, you're punishing Nigerians, the Togolese, the Senegalese, or the Ghanaians, whoever is now still keeping that border closed. We know that, kudos to Benin. Ghana also has opened its port for these landlocked countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, to use it as a port. So countries are, coming to these ECOWAS members, coming to their senses, after seeing the loss that they have encountered. They know that they are not going to continue. So this is what I say, that Nigeria's action should be, as you led that mobilization in ECOWAS, as you are a chairman, Bola Tinubu should come out and apologize, and then open your borders, let everything be normal, and others will follow a step. And then, in fact, if you do this, I'm sure, the whole ECOWAS members will do it, and then even the African Union will restore the membership of Niger back to its place. So that's what we want to see. We don't want, any other Western country to do it for us. Even Western countries are normalizing their relationship with Niger. Why now? I'm sure the African Union later on will do it, but I wish I could have seen that before Russia, before China, before Germany. As you see, Germany is trying to have this security-wise, military to military relation. I want to see that before anyone, the continent, supporting this. These people. I'm not saying I will support totally coup, but if it is a people supported, a people backed coup, then it's not really a bad coup. There is a good coup, there is a bad coup. So it's, in fact, what happened is a revolution for them to break that chain of neo-colonization. I mean, they need to be uploaded to the minimum by the African Union, which is the biggest Pan-African organization, isn't it? Yeah. So that's what I'm going. Now, the third thing that I want to shed light is the distorted definition of foreign capital. Now, you may think that what foreign capital is Mahlet talking about? How come Niger have a foreign capital to invest in Nigeria? Look, the definition that you get in Google for foreign capital is this. Foreign capital refers to the inflow of capital into the home country through international nations, either in the form of foreign investment, FDI, foreign direct investment, loans from multilateral agencies, including the World Bank, or loans from the government of international countries. Now, look how the World Bank is here. Actually, there are foreign capital investments also within African countries, from one African country to the other African country. Okay, it's not every time it's IMF or a foreign direct investment from Europe or from US. No, there is an investment. I mean, as long as it's a different, two different sovereign countries. If a Kenyan comes and invests in Ethiopia, it's a foreign investment, isn't it? And we all are, transacting in that US dollar, unfortunately, but the name will not change. It's a foreign direct investment. So again, it's the definition is distorted, and you can see that there's a racism. It has a racism connotation in it. So that is something I want to shed light to you. Now, just to add, why even this is happening from Niger to Nigeria. What you have to know is, for example, people or traders, they will always want to invest in a place where there is a bigger economy, in a place where there's, relatively sustainable. The condition is more sustained, economically, politically. So that's what now Niger is probably doing. So I want to give you an example. When Somalia was passing through, for two decades, the war had been going on. The country wasn't stable. In fact, it was labeled as a failed state. So you can see a lot of Somalis having a business in Ethiopia, where most of many Somalis have migrated to Ethiopia during the war. You see them in Kenya, and you see them even as far as to Uganda. Uganda is still Eastern African country, but compared to Djibouti or Ethiopia or Kenya, it doesn't share borders. So even they go to Uganda and they invest, people will always look for a sustained place. So it's not something new what has happened, but of course it's really not worthy for us to talk about it. the fact that this happened, between two countries where the relationship, the bilateral relationship is strained because Niger was sanctioned by Nigeria, Nigeria leading the whole ECOWAS, mobilizing it and, threatening military intervention. But look, I mean, I hope this is a big lesson for Nigeria and will reverse its march and, come up with a fresh start with Niger as it is a new year. So let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this news? This foreign capital, by Niger in Nigeria, $15.2 million. Share us your thoughts. We want to hear, and let us know, what should Nigeria do? What should be the next action? I have said my part, but I want to hear it from you as well. Thank you very much again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate each and every one for your input, for your participation, and please subscribe to the channel. It will help us be a family, and smash that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we have a live stream or when we upload videos. If you like what we bring you here, please give it a like, give it thumbs up, and please let's empower each other with knowledge and information. So go ahead and share the video with your network. That way you help us with YouTube, with the YouTube algorithm, but you help us also by spreading this research-based knowledge. Thank you very much again. If you want to help us further, then please go to the description section or in the pinned comment where you can find our PayPal account, so you can donate any amount you like, but it will help us a lot. Thank you very much again. It's a bye-bye for me, and I will see you on the next one. Just tune in.